Hi guys, welcome to another LivinginSAtv video. David here once again. Today we will talk about the South African space industry. And I've been for a long time trying to talk about this, and today is the day. So stay tuned because this video will blow your mind. So once again, I just want to give a big shout out to all my Patreons. Thank you very much for you guys for supporting me and all the people through PayPal that anonymously do their contributions. Thank you very much, guys.
Okay, so the inspiration for this video was that me and my wife were watching the 007 franchise, the movie Spectre. And you guys know 007 movies, a lot of adventure, gadgets, technology, travel around the world. And we were actually surprised because South Africa played a big role in the movie. So I thought to myself, you know what, let's try to find out about the space industry in South Africa. And I found all this.
Okay, let me tell you guys what's been happening around the world in terms of highly innovative technologies, okay? So, in terms of space programs, industry and so on. So, NASA is planning to go to the moon again and start mining there, okay? So, China is creating their own space station to rival the ISS, or the International Space Station, which was built in a community of 10 different countries. China's doing their own thing. Amazing. So Luxembourg is also creating laws to mine asteroids. Wow. And finally, we got a South African which is literally pushing the boundaries of electric cars, space traveling, artificial intelligence, satellite internet. What else can I say? Only if you have been living under a rock you haven't seen this. Now you know. How amazing is that? So, for us to better understand the aerospace industry in South Africa, we need to see the context globally. So to give you guys an idea, by 2026, the aerospace industry around the world will be valued in $558 billion. Which is basically growing at an annual rate of 5.6%. Isn't that amazing? Another very interesting curiosity is, worldwide we have 195 countries and 72 of them are investing heavily into the space industry. Okay, so what about Africa? Let me tell you guys. So, African countries have a total of 41 satellites, all combined, in orbit. The African space industry is currently worth $7.4 billion and is projected to grow to over $10.3 billion in the next 5 years, or 2026. The top three are South Africa, with a space industry with a market value of $1.8 billion. Morocco comes in second with $1.1 billion. And in third place, Tunisia with $430 million. South Africa and Morocco worldwide rank in the top 40. The biggest players in South Africa will be Armscor, Denel Dynamics, and Aerospace. Isn't this amazing? Wow. Okay, South Africa has approximately 120 space companies, state-owned and privately owned. Since the 1920s, South Africa has been manufacturing aircraft parts, drones, satellite systems, and even full aircrafts. We have companies like Saab, Boeing, Rolls-Royce, Safran, General Electric, and Airbus, just to name a few, are buying from us. The booming of the aerospace industry in South Africa has been pushed by government-private partnerships and many research universities like WITS through the National Aerospace Center. Okay, so 90% of South Africa's aviation activities are shared between the Western Cape and Gauteng, and the sector employs more than 3,000 highly skilled workers. Its aerospace, marine, and defense industries have a combined 15,000 employees, with exports worth 1.3 billion euros or $1.46 billion. It's the aerospace industry, which is known for innovative products and applications in commercial aviation as well as defense. We can build anything, literally. And I want to give you guys solid examples. Let me tell you guys a few. So, South Africa has launched 8 satellites since 1999. The satellites Nsite-1 and ZA Aerosat shows how good we are. And that's not only satellites. We do armored cars. We do any type of guns, drones, you name it. I mentioned only those 3 companies, but we have also Milco, we have also Paramount, and so many companies that it's impossible to say. And remember, this aerospace industry in South Africa, the market value is $1.8 billion. That's amazing. But let's continue with the rest of the video. Okay, so guys, I have to say something, which is I'm completely against war, worldwide conflict. I think the world has too much suffering in it. But I'm just mentioning this because as South Africans, we need to understand what we have in our country. That's it. By the way, guys, don't forget to watch this YouTube channel called Defense Web. Very interesting, so you guys can have a better idea of what I'm talking about. Okay, guys, so in order to give you guys the whole juice about the space industry in South Africa, let's talk about the space program that we have in South Africa. Let's have a look. So, in the early 2020, SANSA submitted a proposal to the SIDS, an initiative of government to access funding as part of the country's economic recovery plan and to respond to the National Development Plan 2030 and the Infrastructure Development Act. Please see the recovery plan link below. Over 270 projects were submitted for consideration by the SIDS initiative, or Sustainable Infrastructure Development Symposium. Of these 270 projects, 88 projects were classified as bankable, and 5 were considered high priority for South Africa in terms of the associated impact that was expected. The projects were divided into 6 sectors, namely water and sanitation, energy, transport, digital infrastructure, agriculture, and agro-processing and human settlement sectors. Okay, so basically what happened with actually SANSA when they applied for the for the finance, they were awarded 4.4 billion rand to be basically paid in the next 3 years. To give you guys an idea, the agency has also sourced about 300 million in extra cash to upgrade its space weather center and build a concurrent design facility to speed up satellite design, among other modernization upgrades. The 4.47 billion project will include a number of satellite builds, Earth observation and space science missions, a new ground station, an expanded data segment, and a new data visualization center, activation of the satellite-based augmentation system over Southern Africa, the development of products and services for use across all spheres of government and human capital development and training. Again, this is a sector of economy that needs high-skilled people. And again, as I mentioned many times, I want you to invest in your education and take a degree that can help South Africa to grow the economy and make sure that we as a country go forward. We need new blood in order to continue with these industries. And another very interesting thing, which is South Africa is also helping India with their space program, or the space mission called Chandrayaan-2, which will put India on the map, because we will help India to go to the moon. And we'll put India in the list of countries such as the US, China and Russia to actually go to the moon. How amazing is that? That only shows how amazing the space industry in South Africa is. Okay, let me guess. What is the question in your guys' minds? Why do we need a space program? Why do we need satellites? Let me tell you guys a little bit. If you guys are not aware, South Africa has 1.2 million square kilometers. We can put the United Kingdom 10 times in South Africa. So we're talking about 2,800 kilometers of coastline. We're talking about 60 million people and 9 different provinces. This is crazy. How the heck we gonna keep all this under control? It's impossible. Really, it's impossible if we don't use these technologies. And again, the big problem with big empires is always their dimension. The bigger a country is, the worse it is to control. Yeah. If you guys see smaller countries with less population, they are much more successful because it's easy to make things work. Okay, so what type of advantages does having satellites and also a space program? So be aware of possible natural disasters, for example droughts. By looking at this, we can prevent these scenarios. Daily weather forecasts, of course we all do that. We always see what will be the temperature and the weather for the next few weeks. Instantaneous worldwide communications. That's obvious. You can't live without your phone, your Instagram, your Facebook, your WhatsApp. No, you can't. Of course not. Navigation systems. If your car gets hijacked, how are you going to get the car back if you don't have a satellite system? Impossible. So prevent illegal poaching in our game reserves. Preserve our animal kingdom also. Okay, so we're talking about ability to record high resolution images. Surveillance of borders and human basic security. Also, this is self-explanatory. Find new resources in minerals and water. This is very important for us. Development of space sciences and academics, developing human capital. I'm always saying, doesn't matter what, it's the best resources we have in South Africa. It's not minerals, it's not whatever, it's citizens. We need people highly educated to push the country forward. I'm always saying this and I will repeat myself again. Monitoring the territory, agriculture, water systems and human settlements from space. Yes, we have to do this. Save money that we can reinvest into the space industry and create sustainability. Worldwide cooperation with other countries selling data. We live in a digital economy, skills transfer and all this. Doesn't matter what. By the way, I will make an amazing video about digital economy in a future video, because I want you guys to be aware of some stuff. And that's basically it. And if you are paranoid about control, I dare you to throw away your smartphone. So for you guys to understand the faith that the international community has in South Africa in terms of the space industry and the aerospace industry as a whole, you guys need to check the square array telescope video that I have done. Okay guys, now the best part of the video is coming, which is speaking about the history behind the space industry in South Africa, and I will give you guys mind-blowing facts. Let's take a look. Okay. So, South Africa has been an active participant in the exploration of space since the dawn of space age. From the 1950s until the 1970s, satellites were tracked to determine the effects of the upper atmosphere on their orbits. Space can be an extreme environment. Lunar and interplanetary missions were supported from a tracking station at Hartbeespoort, about 50 kilometers northwest of Johannesburg. This amazing station has received images of planet Mars taken by the Mariner 4 spacecraft, the first close-up images of Mars, and also the first close-up images of another planet to be received on Earth. We were the pioneers to receive images from Mars. How amazing is that? Wow. South Africa ground-based facilities have continued to support various space missions ever since. South Africa initiated its first space program in the 1980s. Okay, the first South African space program was actually created in 1980. So, the objective of this program was to develop an Earth observation satellite and a launcher, and all the necessary facilities to support these activities. Satellite integration and testing facilities were constructed at Grabown in the Western Cape, about 70 kilometers west of Cape Town. The launch facility was established at Orniston on the Cape South Coast, about 180 kilometers west of Cape Town. This allowed for east to polar launches. Considerable capabilities were developed in South African industry to support this program. This program was discontinued in 1994 before any satellites were launched and the facilities were redirected towards other uses. In February 1999, South Africa's first satellite, the Sunset-1, was launched. This 64 kilos microsatellite was built by the staff and students at the University of Stellenbosch. The satellite was launched as a secondary payload on a United States launcher. The satellite operated successfully for 2 years in low Earth orbit and took numerous multispectral images at 15-meter GSD of our planet from space. The team that built Sunset-1 established the Sunset Company to further develop and market some of the microsatellite technologies pioneered with Sunset-1. The company has supplied a number of satellite subsystems and also completed satellites to various clients. In July 2013, the capabilities and intellectual property of SunSpace were transferred to Denel Dynamics, with the creation of a new entity in the Denel Group, which is named Space Tech. Okay, so in 2005 was actually the resurrection of the space program in South Africa. Let me tell you what happened. In 2005, the Department of Science and Technology initiated a 3-year satellite program. The main goal of the program was capacity building in all aspects of a typical space mission. The University of Stellenbosch was appointed to manage this program, and SunSpace was appointed as a contractor to provide the satellite. The satellite was designed, built and tested in South Africa by more than 40 local companies, demonstrating the capacity of South African industry to support the national space program. This satellite, named Sumbandila, meaning Pathfinder in the local Venda language, was launched in September 2009 and was operated until mid-2011. And the beautiful thing about the Sumbandila satellite gave us the opportunity of more research and development. Let me tell you guys why. The Sumbandila produced over 1,100 high-quality images of the Earth, which have been made available to local researchers. However, the principal and enduring legacy of the Sumbandila mission is the human capital development. In all the scientific, technical, policy and regulatory aspects of conducting space activity. Wow! So let's continue. So the hub of space activities in South Africa is the Western Cape. The region hosts the facilities developed for the previous space program, as well as a number of universities, government research laboratories, and many high-tech companies. The universities in the region have competencies in satellite engineering, satellite operations, optical instrumentation design and testing, synthetic aperture, radar systems and data processing, as well as space policy and space law. That just shows how well regulated the space industry is in South Africa. Okay, a very interesting thing here that I found out was the starting of the space program in the 1980s had somewhat started in a very nefarious way. Let me tell you guys why. So the industry got off to a somewhat nefarious start in the 1980s, when the apartheid government began pursuing ballistic missile and satellite launch vehicle projects for the military, with assistance from Israel. The RSA-1 and RSA-2 missiles were intended for nuclear attack, while the RSA-3 rocket was designed to launch a 300 kilograms surveillance satellite, but was also capable of delivering a nuclear payload. 4 space rockets were built, and 3 launched between 1989 and 1990, but without useful payloads. Okay, so by 1989, the nuclear weapons program ended completely. So the finance dried completely, and South Africa joined the Missile Technology Control Regime, or MTCR, which required the destruction of infrastructure, including a launch pad at the Overberg test range, with the winding down of the country's space capabilities. South Africa also lost its GreenSat spy satellite, which was cancelled in 1990. Wow! I would love to make a video more in depth about this, because for the international community to actually make pressure to this to happen, I can't even understand what South Africa was really doing. This is quite amazing, in a historical point of view, of course. Wow guys, wasn't this video amazing? Are you guys not speechless and proud of South Africa and about our space industry? Because I am. And you know what? I will leave now a timeline for the evolution of the South African space industry. I hope you guys enjoyed the video. Thank you very much to all my Patreons and the people who pledge on my PayPal. Thank you very much, guys. Thank you also to you that watches always my content in a religious way. Thank you, guys. My name is David, and I see you in the next LivinginSAtv video.